Hi students, today I'm going to go over a tutorial on how to do our project poster I am blank portrait. So basically you're going to use masking techniques that you've learned so far to create a composite of a new person. This person right here in this image doesn't really exist. The eyes, mouth, and nose were used from other photographs and composited to create this person. The goal is to create a realistic person, so I don't want you to put 3 eyes and 2 mouths on it. I want you to create a person that looks realistic. The rest of the image has a background and elements that relate to the interests of the person. And then there's text. You'll be putting I am Sam, I am Bob, whatever you feel that person's name should be. First of all, you have to take 3 photographs of people you know. It can be family members or friends. If you are unable to do that, you can go to unsplash.com and get portraits off there. The portraits should look like this, where the background is kind of clear, no patterns, maybe a light background or light color background, and the photograph should fill the frame on your phone camera so that you can see the face head straight on facing the camera. So you'll be taking those 3 photographs, and I'm going to open up 3 photographs. Okay, so I have these photographs here. So say I want to take this nose out of this photograph. Actually, first of all, let me show you some tools, some editing tools. These tools here, this one and this one, you could use. This is the blur tool, so if something is too sharp, you can kind of blur it so it doesn't look as sharp. This is the sharpen tool, so we're going to sharpen up the eyes, brighten up the eyes a little bit. And then the smudge tool, you can use the smudge an area, so I just smudge that area out. The dodge tool allows you to lighten up things a little bit, so I'm going to lighten up the eyes a little bit here. The burn tool allows you to darken up areas. So you can darken up. I'm going to darken up that area. Let's see, darken up his eye. And the sponge tool gets rid of color. So if, say, the lips are too red, you can take out color, and it allows you to desaturate color. Another tool that's really helpful is the clone stamp tool. So I'm going to make my clone stamp brush a little bigger. If I pick an area with an option key, so it'll turn into this icon. If I pick an area near this, so I'm picking this skin color, and I put it over, you'll notice that it will put that area on top. So I just made that pimple or mole disappear. So I'm going to do it again. I'm clicking option next to it, and then I just made the mole disappear. I'm going to make some of his blemishes disappear here. There we go. Okay, so I cleaned up the photograph a little bit. So what I'm going to do is grab the nose. So I'm going to use the masking tool and the brush, and I'm making a pretty big size, and I'm going to make it soft, and I'm going to select his nose area. Okay, so then I put the mask on, so I have a selection. I'm just going to hit Command C for copy or Control C on a PC, and then Command V to put the nose in there. So I've got the nose somewhere in there. Okay, you can make it bigger or smaller by hitting the anchor points. Okay, so now I'm on this layer. I'm going to name that layer nose. Now, if you notice, the color of the nose is a little bit brighter and not as red as his face. So I'm going to go to Image. Actually, I got to pick the layer beyond that layer. Image Adjustment. I'm going to go to Hue and Saturation. And I'm going to slightly darken the nose. That's too dark. Maybe like that. And then I'm going to increase the saturation, and you can see the color of the nose. You don't want to overdo it like that, but you can increase the saturation. So now the color of the nose looks closer to the skin tone. Then what I'm going to do is this area here I want to get out. So I'm going to hit my eraser tool and a soft edge brush. And I'm going to lower the opacity. Up here is the properties. I'm going to lower the opacity so it doesn't make a hard erase. It's going to be a soft erase. And I'm going to slowly just erase some of that area. I'm going to blend in with the background a little bit. And there we go, a little bit more blending in with his actual bridge of the nose. Let me get another image here. So I'm going to do another addition to his face. I'm going to go back to my masking mode. Oops. There we go. I'm back to my masking mode. Oops, I'm not going to select that. I'm going to actually select his lips. So I'm going to get a good portion of his lips in here. And then I'm just going to simply copy and paste it. So I've got his lips. I'm going to make it a little bigger. Yep. And you can rotate it a little bit. And get it in there. Okay. So now, and then I'm going to go ahead and name that layer lips. And now I'm going to use my eraser tool again with a low opacity. I'm going to erase this area here so that it blends into his face a little more. So I've got his lips there. I can adjust the color of the skin tone. So right now the skin tone is yellowish. So I'm going to go ahead back to hue and saturation. I'm going to move the hue of it. There we go. Down. And maybe bright. Nope. Don't want to brighten it up a lot. I'm just lowering it down. Okay. So there we go. So the document size that I want for this poster is actually 13 by 19. And if you go to this image size, you'll notice that it's actually 42 inches. So what I want to do is go to New, Document, 13 by 19 inches at 300 dpi. And then I'm actually going to flatten this image and then simply select with the magic wand tool the background. So I've got some of the background. I'm going to also put a little feather so it's not as sharp. I'm going to feather it with about 8 pixels. And then I'm going to inverse. Hit Command-Shift-I, and now I have the person that I want. And I'm going to copy it and paste it into this document. Now, as long as I have him selected, I'm going to hit Command-T and then make him bigger because I want you to fill the poster. So now the background's gone. So I could simply go to unsplash.com, image, unsplash.com, and I'm going to pick maybe I'll pick a landscape. Let's see what would be good to work with this image. Maybe this one. So I'm going to download this, and these are high-res images. I've got it in my downloads folder, and I'm simply going to bring it. It would be good to put everything into a folder for this project on your desktop, and then I'm going to open my project folder and drag the background image into here and make it a little bigger. And then put it in the background. And there he goes. So some of the background colors, some of the cutout is got a glow. So I'm going to go ahead and erase with a low opacity that on that guy. Oops, that's too much opacity. Let's see. I'm going to lower the flow. Let me make this. So he doesn't have that glow on him. And if you notice, his face is a different kind of tone to the background. So I'm just going to go to Image, Adjust, and do the color balance. And I'm going to play with the highlights to be more like the tone of the background. And then I'm going to go ahead and adjust the brightness a little bit. There we go. So now it looks more like he's fitting that background. So I want you to use several features: nose, mouth, eyes. It could be 2 different eyes. You can change the hair. You can change out the hair. But make a realistic person. And then put a background and different elements that relate to this person's personality. And then, I don't know why that's doing that. Let's go to type. No. Character styles. Nope. Paragraph. Character. Okay. Oops. Sorry. I am Sam. So, and then you could play with some effects. So if you go click on the layer and you hit this button here, you can actually add maybe a drop shadow. So, or you can bevel it. So I just beveled the font. I'm gonna also add a drop shadow. Oops. Let me change the font. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, so there we go. So there we go, our project. Have fun with it. It won't be due for a few weeks. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks a lot.